So here we are in rainy Japan. Atami to be exact. We're here on a quick little getaway and beautiful, beautiful room. But I'll get to it later. Don't have much time to squeeze this video in. But I did want to talk about culture because as we're vacationing here uh, as non-locals, right? Like my wife is from Japan, but we're visiting as non-locals, and you know, it got me thinking a lot about the culture of the host culture and how it relates to Hawaii is I think sometimes and some people they have an expectation that if you're visiting a place like Hawaii that you should learn about the local culture and again we're talking like two split cultures here because there's the native Hawaiian culture like Hawaiian back in the Hawaiian days, you know, like Kamehameha and you know Ahupua'a and that whole system, like all that Hawaiian history. And then there's like the local culture, like you know, like plate lunches, rubber slippers, pigeon, like then there's that culture. And I think there's sometimes an expectation that locals like us, right, like local people, we have on visitors in particular to learn all this stuff. And as we're vacationing out here, I realized that on this trip, this is about as cultural as we're gonna get. Of course, we're gonna eat good Japanese food and experience all these things, but but like this bathtub, like the Ofuro bathtub, that's like local. I guess what you could be like equivalent to like that local culture in Hawaii. Like that's like the contemporary today culture in Japan, and you know we want to go a little bit further. Excuse the mess, but you know we got like the tatami mat and all of this stuff. You know I wore the it's not a jacket, but it's sort of like a warming vest. But all of this to say that that's about it. Like for us as a local family, that's about all we're gonna do. Like culturally, you know, like especially like talking like older Japan stuff. Like you know, like there's no tea ceremony. There's no temple visits. We're not gonna visit a castle. You know, I'm not here necessarily to learn about those things. And again, we're traveling as a family with two young kids, but again, as a visitor to another place, I don't think I could expect other people to to learn about those things or even be interested in those things when they come to Hawaii. Obviously, if they're interested in the culture and the history, you know, in Hawaii, they can go check out, you know, Bishop Museum, Polynesian Cultural Center is pretty nice. You know, they got the memorial, Arizona Memorial. You know, you got these places, but I don't think we as locals should expect visitors to our home state to have to learn about all the things, all the cultural things, all the historical things, if they don't want to. And at least for me, that's never been my expectation of visitors. But there are some people who do, and they make people feel guilty for not coming to Hawaii and doing those sorts of things. There's a lot of people right now coming to Japan, right? And that sort of, again, also kind of got me prompted on this whole thing. Like, I don't know what that is, but there's a lot of people coming to to Japan from the West, and I know 12 people from Hawaii who are coming here, right? And I don't think any of them, to be honest, are coming to Japan from Hawaii to learn about the Japanese culture, right? They want to eat good food and they want to go shopping because it's cheap right now. So I just want to say, like, let's not kid ourselves, right? Like, it I just try to think about it as being fair, right? So if us as locals, we put an expectation on other people, then we ourselves need to make sure that when we go out and travel, that we do those same things. So if you're one of those locals who is like, oh, if you come to Hawaii, you gotta learn about the Hawaiian history, you know, you gotta learn about the language, the rich culture, then make sure that when you go to other places, you do that as well. I try when I travel to do some of those things. Last year I went for a work conference and I went to the South and I did spend a day actually going to a history museum, I know, of that place. And I sat there and I watched the movie. Oh, there's a, I don't know if you can see Shinkansen way over there. I watched the movie, I saw all the artifacts, and it was very interesting. But but that was just me because I was curious about the place that I was visiting. But I don't think that we can ask people to, or sorry, let me rephrase that. We shouldn't expect people to do that when they visit. I think where people may be leading toward is maybe not necessarily a forced you better learn about Hawaii history if you come here or feel bad about yourself, right? I don't think it's that. It's more about, I think, this idea of respecting the local culture. And and by that, I think there's respecting local culture by understanding and following some of the rules. So that's one of the things that I found that at least we try to do. Again, I'm a non-local here, so I make mistakes. There's some things that I can't even read the sign, right? And so it's like, of course, I'm not gonna know those types of things. But there are things that I'm trying to get better at, you know? So like when we go up the escalator here, I try go on the left side, right? Because you go on the left side of the escalator and then people who are in a rush, they come on the right side. You know, even something as simple as just walking on the sidewalk, right? We're from the west, so when I walk on the sidewalk, I tend to walk on the right side when I'm walking this way. But then actually here is like the opposite. So if you are going like in a certain direction, you actually go on the left side and the people coming towards you are on your right. So again, small stuff like that. It's even not necessarily rules, maybe like societal rules, cultural rules, you know, just manners, etiquette. Like those are the kinds of things that I'm trying to learn and to be a good visitor, so that I'm not a oh another Shinkansen. Um, so I'm not like a Western tourist. I know Japan is being bombarded right now by all these foreign tourists from China, from other parts of Asia, from the United States. And I'd hope that, especially being like Japanese American, I cannot be like that. And I'm trying my best, you know, to maybe I don't dive into all the cultural stuff. I've done some of it already, you know, saw a temple, excuse me, been to a castle. They're kind of, frankly, they're all kind of the same, but I did those things, tea ceremony, all that good stuff. But I'm trying my best to set an example, you know, for my boys who are Japanese. Mom is from Japan, dad's from Hawaii, and also just to sort of model and go through those things because back home, right, in Hawaii, we interact with a lot of tourists, and I think it's important to remember that when we travel, to make sure that we're acting the way that we want people to act when they come to our house, when they come to not literally our house, but they come to our home, right? When they come to Hawaii, that yeah, you don't touch the turtles, you don't bother the seals, you don't, you know, throw away the trash. And I will be honest, in Japan especially, small kind of hard to find a trash can, but I put it in my pocket, you know, and I take off the wrapper off of the you know, the soda bottles, and you know, I'm trying, okay. um, but really, this trip, it got me just thinking, like, you know, this is a trip where we're really not doing a lot of cultural stuff. And I'm glad there's nobody telling me or making me feel guilty that, oh, if you come to Japan, yeah, you gotta see a castle. You gotta go temple, you know, you gotta do all. It's like, we're just here to have fun, spend time with family. And I think because we're going through that ourselves, it's a lot easier for us when other people, like, I guess, to extend that same like understanding that, hey, maybe when people come to Hawaii, maybe they kind of just want to do what they like. Now I hope that they do it respectfully and that they're sensitive to the local culture and that they, you know, follow the rules and directions. But I think there shouldn't be this expectation that we should hold on them that, oh, if you come Hawaii, yeah, you better learn about Hawaii. You got to go these places, and it's, that makes it unfun, right? Like that's, I think that message that we're sending out on social media sometimes, where we make people feel bad for coming to Hawaii, and I don't want anybody to feel bad. oh my gosh, look at that, look at the clouds. I can't even see anything. But the lighting is nice though. But I don't want anybody to feel bad about coming to Hawaii because they're paying big bucks, right? Like we're paying medium-sized bucks to come here. But you know, we're coming here, taking time off of work. You know, we're tired. I'm tired, right? But to just extend that grace as locals, right? Like when we go to Vegas, when we go California, when we come Japan, right? Nobody's telling us to do certain things. And so I think for some locals, you know, like try ease up a little bit, okay? Like it's not disrespectful, I think, if people want to visit Hawaii and have a good time and they don't have to visit or learn about certain things. It's not a history class, right? It's not Hawaiiana class like in fourth grade or eighth grade, but like as long as they're respectful and they follow the rules, I think that's great. And I wish that was the message that we could send out more. I know that the Hawaii Tourism Authority is trying to push this like part of the sustainability of economy, right? Like sustainable economy. So you provide people opportunities to plant taro and learn about history. That's wonderful. But again, would we ourselves do that? And we got to be honest with ourselves now. All right, cannot be lying. Okay, like you got to be honest. If we go Vegas, you think we want to go do that, right? No way. People want to just go Cal, right? When we come to Japan, bro, the guys just going Shinjuku and they're just going crazy, spending money, eating up tonkatsu, ramen. I mean, come on, right? There's no history lesson in there, right? We're just here to, frankly, just to consume and have a good time. And so I think let's just ease up, okay, a little bit. For those guys out there that hold everybody to these high expectations of learning about the historical context, and maybe it might make them feel more validated that people learn about Hawaii's history. Maybe. I don't know. But it's always been my position. If people want to come visit Hawaii, that's fine. People want to move to Hawaii, that's fine. Just read the signs, try to understand what's kind of going on culturally, society. We got our own rules, our certain mannerisms, right? And even locals, we don't follow all the rules either. But I think that's what we can do, is to extend that grace and that understanding, especially because we go out and we visit places too. And being here in this place, in this very cloudy, rainy place today, but still having a good time. Let's try to remember that as the host culture, I don't think that we should put unnecessary burdens on others, especially if we ourselves are not willing to go and do those things that we are asking of other people. So those are just my thoughts. It's about 14 minutes, so I better get going because my kid's gonna come back. Boy, it's been a long trip, but yeah, just trying to enjoy it. And yeah, it's really about family here and spending good family time. And we're eating a lot of good food, Shopping, not so much this time, but we're eating a lot of good food, and it's great to be back in Japan. So let me know what you think about that. Hopefully, people don't have big expectations of tourists, you know, and yeah, we just try to show them aloha because people are showing us aloha when we travel other places too. So thanks for watching, and aloha.